In April 1989, Japanese police discovered something horrifying. Inside a metal drum filled with concrete, they found the body of a teenage girl. Her name was Junko Furuta. But what investigators uncovered next was so disturbing that even experienced detectives struggled to talk about it. Junko Furuta was a 17-year-old high school student in Tokyo. She was known as a kind and hard-working girl. She had good grades. She worked a part-time job after school. To everyone around her, Junko looked like a normal teenager with a bright future. But on November 25, 1988, her life changed forever. That evening, Junko was riding her bicycle home from work. A teenage boy approached her on the street. He forced her to stop. The boy pretended to know dangerous gang members. He threatened her and forced her to follow him. Junko was taken to a house in Tokyo. Inside that house, 4 teenage boys were waiting. What happened inside that house lasted 44 days. Junko Furuta was held captive and tortured repeatedly. Investigators later revealed that she was beaten, starved, and abused almost every day. Even more disturbing, many people knew she was inside the house, but no one contacted the police. Junko was trapped with no way to escape. After weeks of extreme torture, Junko Furuta could no longer survive the injuries. She died on January 4, 1989. The attackers tried to hide the crime. They placed her body inside a metal drum, then filled it with wet concrete. They believed the truth would never be discovered. They were wrong. A few months later, police arrested one of the attackers for another crime. During questioning, investigators discovered the truth. The suspects eventually led police to the concrete drum. When officers opened it, they found Junko Furuta's remains inside. The case shocked the entire country. Because the attackers were teenagers, their identities were protected by law, but the details of the crime spread across Japan. Many people were outraged. The court later described the case as one of the most brutal crimes in Japanese history. The attackers were sentenced to prison. Even decades later, the Junko Furuta case remains one of the darkest crimes ever recorded, not only because of the brutality, but because it showed how cruelty can exist in places that seem completely ordinary. Some crimes are so disturbing, they leave scars on history forever.